I can't hear you if you're talking.
Me neither.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Star Benjamin Chinmai Minataya and Nishada. Okay, I did see some of those people earlier. I see Manan joined us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I only received 2 speeches today, which means only 2 people will be able to deliver their speeches today. Now, on Thursday, the remainder of the class will be permitted to deliver your speeches, provided that you submit the required documentation. If you do not submit the required documentation, you will not be permitted to deliver your speech. So I'm going to repeat that one more time. If you do not submit the required documentation for your speech, you will not, N-O-T, be permitted to deliver your speech. Therefore, you will fail that assignment, which would be a big fail because you only have 2 graded speeches in this class. So please take advantage of the opportunities provided to you. Please follow the instructions that have been given to you. I have tried to work with you throughout the semester, and I think that perhaps maybe it's been a hindrance because maybe you believe or don't believe What I'm telling you, I don't know. I can't figure it out. So, but the choice is yours. We live in a democracy. The choice is yours. I would encourage you to follow the directions and submit the required paperwork so that you can deliver an outstanding, fantastic, interesting, and exciting speech that I know you can do. Okay. So, on that note, only 2 people, like I said, did the required work. So, those people who will be delivering their speeches today and we'll get them out of the way will be Benjamin and Dominic, because those are the only 2 that I received as of about maybe 3 hours today. And it was due last night. Okay. So I'm looking forward to seeing the rest of you submit your information into the computer, into the Blackboard system, so that we got a productive class on Thursday as well. All right, so between the 2 people who submitted their speeches, which are Benjamin and Dominic, which one of the 2 of you would like to go first?
I guess I can.
Oh, okie.
All right.
Hold on, let me get prepared for you.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, Benjamin, we're ready
All
when
right.
you
Okay. Being social with people isn't an easy task. There are so many different cues and nuances that you have to pick up on in order to socialize effectively. For most people, this is something that comes naturally. You develop these skills as time goes on. For people with high functioning autism, or HFA, there is characteristically a certain ineptitude to social cues. Oftentimes, this social ineptitude of someone with HFA results in them getting mislabeled as inappropriate. Due to all of this, social interactions are harder for people with high functioning autism. Before we get into how and why social interactions are difficult for those with autism, there are some things that I need to inform you of so that you are not confused. According to the American Psychiatric Association, autism spectrum disorder is a disorder that messes with social relations, verbal and nonverbal communication, and behavior. Autism is a spectrum, sort of like the spectrum of color. There are a couple of terms that are used to describe people on the autism spectrum. Asperger's is the same as high functioning autism, so they are used interchangeably. And a neurotypical person is someone who is not affected by a developmental disorder. The social ineptitude exhibited in those with high functioning autism, or HFA, often leads to the person with autism doing things that are considered socially inappropriate. Some major characteristics of HFA are misunderstanding of verbal and nonverbal cues, being unable to comprehend other people's emotions, and not being able to tell if something is inappropriate or not. A study was conducted where children with autism were shown situations with appropriate and inappropriate behavior and asked to point out the corresponding behaviors. The group with autism was less accurate in identifying the inappropriate behaviors than the appropriate ones, especially where the behavior was verbal. People with autism might not fully understand what is happening and therefore may act in ways that neurotypical people would not and are deemed inappropriate. An amazing example of this was provided in the research paper, The Social, Behavioral, and Academic Experiences of Children with Asperger's Syndrome. 2 of the high school-aged male subjects became infatuated with some girls in their school, to the point where they would follow them around, go to their locker, and meet them in the hallway after classes. According to the authors, in each case, the girl herself tried to talk to the boy, as did the parents and teachers, The teenager with Asperger's syndrome, however, failed to understand the girl's feelings of being stalked. Sadly, some people are not as understanding as these girls were with people who have autism. A mother shared her experience with her 9-year-old nonverbal son and how people react to him in an article by Doug Newman of the Westlock News. Parents who might not realize Tanner has autism has said things like, "What a rude little boy," when he won't respond to questions or social cues like making eye contact. Understanding social cues is something that has to be worked on for people with high functioning autism. When I was diagnosed at 13, it gave me a better understanding of who I am and what I am capable of. I was able to better understand why I wasn't comprehending why people were acting the way they were or why they had adverse reactions to how I was acting. I was fortunate enough to have amazing coaches on my robotics team in high school that understood me and helped me grow as a person to the point where I'm in no way the same I was my freshman year. But it took a lot of help. There was a study done that went into detail of how Asperger's affects children aged 3 to 15. The study finds that as the subjects grew older, they wanted to fit in more but had poor social skills, so they faked it till they made it. Since the subjects were intellectually gifted, they were able to learn the social cues and skills that are needed to have a functioning life. According to the authors, this learning, however, took considerable effort on the part of the child and the parent. While high functioning autism is seen as the less severe form of the disability on the autism spectrum, it is not without its challenges. People with HFA look exactly like their neurotypical peers, but it really is the small things that make the difference. They may say and do things society would deem as inappropriate without realizing it, and that is all because they have trouble figuring out what is going on in a social situation. It also takes a lot of work for people with HFA to learn the social cues that allow us to fluidly interact with people. Social interactions are not easy for neurotypical people, but they are even more difficult for those with HFA. According to the CDC, 1 in 54 children in the US have a form of autism spectrum disorder. So please, make sure to keep an open mind the next time someone makes an awkward comment or says something inappropriate. There's a good chance that person could have autism and not understand what they are doing is wrong.
Nice.
You're muted.
You're on mute. Oh, yeah. I'm very proud of you, Benjamin.
Thank
Had
you.
you not told me that you had autism, I would never know that you had autism.
It's very slight, but it is there. You have to spend a lot of time with me to see.
Yeah, I understand that there is a spectrum.
Yeah.
I do have two nieces who are autistic
Okay.
as well, and that every person is just so totally different,
Yeah.
depending, on where they fit on the spectrum.
Which is why the symbol is a puzzle piece, because everything's different. I actually have a tattoo of a puzzle piece.
Ah,
So yeah, here, I'll show you. Here, if I can. Here.
oh yeah,
Yep.
cool,
So
cool.
yeah. So it is very different for everyone, and it goes to show that you have to be nicer to people and better and more understanding.
Yes, because everybody has a story.
Yep.
Everyone does, and we never know what it is until you actually get to know someone. And once you do open up with people, we find so many more similarities
Yep.
with the people than we do our differences. So kudos to you.
Thank you.
And thank you very much for sharing that information with us. I really appreciate it very much.
No problem.
Any other questions for Benjamin at all? Or comments anyone like to make?
I learned a lot from the research. If you actually have questions.
I bet. I bet. I learned a lot too reading it. All
Did
right.
you know some of the information like
Oh,
before researching?
oh yeah. Well, I knew from personal experience that social interactions are difficult. So, but I didn't know how much of myself I should put in it, so I didn't really include those. But I definitely knew some of this, but reading the papers that I read, it was more like I said to my mom, I was like, I don't like being called out this much because that's really what it is. Because I am textbook high functioning autism, and this really does give you a better understanding.
That's good. And when you know better, you do better.
Yeah, like once I figured out why like everything a couple years ago, I was better. I was able to better interact with people. I was able to better understand myself. It's knowing what's going on is amazing.
Yes.
Yep.
All right, great. Thank you so much for that, Benjamin. Okay, so next up is Dominic. Let me
Yep.
get ready for you, Dominic. We're ready, Dominic.
Okay.
We're ready.
Alrighty. So what's up, everybody? A healthy lifestyle is something that we should think about on a daily basis. It is important so we can achieve a long, healthy life. Don't all of us want to have a healthy life? Having a healthy lifestyle is a way to avoid future health issues that some of us may encounter. So eating all the right foods and exercising regularly, along with getting plenty of sleep, are attributing factors to help prevent disease. And this is what is needed for a healthy lifestyle. To be able to achieve this lifestyle, eating a good diet is a way to help with the prevention of certain diseases. According to a book, Diet and Disease by Kate Ferrero, she stated that diet plays a significant role in the development of a number of types of chronic disease, such as heart disease, diabetes, and certain types of cancer. If eating the right foods is what can help with the prevention of many diseases, then wouldn't it be easy to do? Many of us just don't take it seriously. As stated in Total Health magazine by Eric Braverman, it is wonderful that we have so many diets, since every disease requires a specific diet. There's a diet for hypertension, a diet for obesity, a diet for arthritis, a diet for heart disease, and a diet for diabetes. Really, a diet for virtually every disease. Often there are several valuable diets for one disease. In reality, you just need to find a diet that best suits your needs and concerns. Along with diet, a healthy lifestyle also comes from exercising regularly. According to the Daily Herald out of Arlington Heights, Illinois, exercise can help people feel better about themselves and their appearances, and has considerable effects on various parts of the body, including the heart. Exercise is something we all think about, but might not follow through with, whether it's because we don't have time or just don't care about it. But in line with Joseph Luckbaker from Total Health magazine, he explains that it is generally accepted that physical activity can improve your health and overall quality of life. Regular exercise has been shown to reduce the risk of coronary heart disease and stroke, lower blood pressure, alleviate stress, and promote fat loss. Exercise is not just about making you feel and look good, it's also about you staying healthy for years to come. Lastly, a healthy lifestyle also comes from getting plenty of sleep. According to Cambridge University, several organizations currently recommend that adults sleep for at least 7 hours per night. Included in those organizations are the American Academy of Sleep Medicine and Sleep Research Society and the National Sleep Foundation. Unfortunately, many people fall short of this every night, which eventually will affect their health. As stated in the International Journal of Behavioral Nutrition and Physical Activity, sleep is recognized as an important contributing factor to physical and mental health in humans, including adolescents. Most people don't realize how important a good night's sleep is, but it's imperative when it comes to a healthy lifestyle. As previously stated, eating all the right foods, exercising regularly, and getting plenty of sleep are contributing factors to help prevent disease for a healthy lifestyle. The best way to help achieve a healthy lifestyle and the prevention of disease is to start taking our health a little more seriously. This is something that many of us lack, even though they are the things that we do on a regular basis in our everyday lives. All I have to do is just make some adjustments to make our lives a little healthier. The last thing we would want is to become a statistic.
Okay, students. So we're down to the wire now, right? We just have these couple more classes left and we'll be done with our semester. So again, Thursday we will hear the remainder of our speeches. Please upload your documents. And then next Tuesday, we will start with our special occasion speeches. We'll have those for 2 days. And then the following week will be our final exam. Does anyone have any questions about anything? Do you have any comments or questions for Dominic on his speech? Thank you very much, Dominic, for your speech.
You're welcome.
I have a question about the special occasion speech.
Okay.
So, something about a speech introducing someone, right? We can do that?
Yes, now there's several we talked about in the lecture. We're going to do any one of those. Any one of those. And I also sent you all, and as well, I put it in the announcement, that I want you to be especially mindful of the purpose of these different speeches. Okay, because someone asked me the question of, well, can I thank my guests for coming to my party? And yes, you can, and that is one of the speeches that we talked about, which is a speech of acceptance. So you might not immediately be drawn to understand that it is thanking my guests. So I tried to make that pretty clear to you in the announcement and the email that I sent you, that you basically are thanking your guests for the gift of their friendship. Okay. or for coming, or for actual gift, or whatever it is that you are appreciative for from the individuals. Now remember, there is no required time length on these speeches. However, I did speak about in the lecture time restraints on all of these speeches, except for maybe, the commemorative speeches and, of course, the after dinner speech. These speeches are short. Okay. Now, Benjamin, you talked about you wanted to give a speech to introduce someone.
Yes, a
And,
fictional character.
okay. So just be mindful that the people came to hear the
Yeah.
speaker. So your introduction is going to focus all on that speaker.
Yep.
And another thing we do in speeches of introduction is we try to save the person's name for last in those speeches. And think about when you go to a concert or some type of entertainment event where the host introduce the guest personality. They build up a sense of anticipation about the individual. Their mission is to hype the audience up, get them excited and enthused about the upcoming guests. So be mindful that that information that you are delivering about the guest whom you are introducing should be all about them. And you can throw in some of the admiration you have for them as well. Does that answer your question?
Oh yes.
Okay.
This is
Yes.
going to be fun.
Yes. And again, these speeches, they have no required time period. So I am not holding you to it. But definitely you don't want to go on and on and on and on and on in many of them. Okay, you want them nice and concise. Because remember, these speeches are what makes the occasion so special. That someone actually took the time to think about you. Okay. Any other questions at all, or any questions for Dominic or comments for Dominic on the speech? You will have a chance to give Dominic and Benjamin their feedback in the discussion, and I will let you all know who's going to critique who. And for the special occasion speeches, I am not going to assign you a person. You will select whoever it is you'd like to comment on, whichever speech you like and you prefer to comment on. You can have your choice for those speeches. But I will assign you for the informative speech. Now, if anyone has a visual you'd like to also include, you can send that to me ahead of time and I will upload it for you. Or I will make you a host for that time and you can upload it yourself. It's up to you. I had some students in other classes, they put up like Zoom backgrounds behind them. And I had some students doing things like crunching potato chips and just doing all kinds of things. Last semester, I had a student who, when he started his speech, his parents ran in and like kidnapped him during his introduction, and it was all about getting tested for COVID. That was it was like a startled um, reaction, which is always great in your introduction. You always want to just grab that attention and hold it throughout the speech. Any other questions at all? Or comments, concerns, discussions you'd like to talk about? We're going to actually get out early. And that will probably be the case for the rest of the semester. Although I don't know about next week, we probably go all the way. I mean, next class period, not next week. So used to saying next week because most of my classes are weekly. Okay. All right. So there being no questions, no discussions. Again, I'd like to thank the two gentlemen who were prepared today. And it is not required because I did give you 2 days, so you're not going to be penalized if you didn't go today. But if you don't go on Thursday, it will not be good for you. So be prepared on Thursday. And again, thank you, gentlemen, for your speeches today. They were informative for us and enjoyable. With that said, everybody have a great holiday. Different, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah. But we made that sacrifice so we can have a wonderful regular Thanksgiving next year. Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was pretty good for me. I got a video game.
Oh, okay.
Stuff was on sale. Stuff was on sale, so I got Doom Eternal. I was very happy. It's a $60 game. Got it for $20.
Oh, you
Yeah.
did
Oh
get a
yeah.
deal.
I was checking it every couple hours just to see if the price dropped. Oh yeah.
See, something good came from
Yep.
COVID, I
Oh
guess.
yeah. Yep.
Yeah. All righty. So everybody stay safe, and I will see you on Thursday. Have
Thank
a
you.
great
You
2
too.
days.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Good day.
Hey, Manon.